Welcome to PosturePractice.com Research. My name is Dr. Stephen Weininger, and we're going to talk about a new paper that came out in the Journal of Electromyography and Kinesiology about the effects of spinal manipulation on how people perceive their body and why the strong posture exercise protocols taught by CPEPs are an essential part of restoring function and helping people maintain restored function over time. From Haavik and Murphy's article, they looked at how a number of studies using SEPs, the somatosensory evoked potentials, transcranial magnetic nerve stimulation, and EMG techniques demonstrated that neurophysiologic changes follow spinal manipulation. This is important because initial episodes of back and neck pain can lead to ongoing changes to nerve input from the spine. And over time, this altered sensorimotor integration means that the spine and the limbs are being perceived differently by the body. They talk about how areas of spinal dysfunction represent a state of altered afferent input, which may be responsible for ongoing central plastic changes. In other words, the misalignment of the perceived body by posture zone, how the body is balancing, how it's aligning, and how it's moving, that misalignment with respect to objective reality reinforces and reprograms the CNS to that perception. And Haavik and Tail go on to say that this is normalized by high velocity, low amplitude spinal manipulation. The way that we talk about it in posture practice, chiropractic helps to restore motion. Posture exercise retrains control. And the idea that motion is a central concept and building consciousness and control of that motion is the idea of posture exercises. Haavik's study proposed an effect of spinal dysfunction beginning with joint dysfunction. And they go on to say that joint dysfunction means that the proprioception from that joint is altered. That altered afferent input means that in the CNS, the central nervous system, there's abnormal processing that occurs. And that sensorimotor processing is abnormal, which means that the integration is abnormal, which means motor control is changed. And that means function is changed, which includes pain and disability, and that changed function begins a cycle. And this cycle of spinal dysfunction is potentially improved by restoring normal joint motion. We call this motion normalization. And Haavik talks about how appropriate joint movement creates normal afferent input, which creates appropriate somatosensory integration and a more accurate motor control, which results in good function, creating a virtuous cycle. And Haavik's observation is that spinal manipulation can be the agent of that appropriate joint movement. And what we've taught in posture practice models for years is that this is true. However, in the absence of something normalizing motion, people will tend to move in old patterns of movement. If you want to normalize motion, you need to retrain contracting muscles as well as connecting ligaments, fascia, and tendons, as well as the neurologic control systems. We call this strong posture exercise. The concepts from Stand Tall, Live Longer talk about restoring normal motion along those three subsystems of motion: contracting muscles, connecting ligaments, and the controlling CNS. Spinal dysfunction affects posture and motion, and correcting it requires restoring symmetry as best as possible from a proprioceptive as well as motor point of view, both input and output. In other words, aligning perceived posture, position, and motion with objective reality. That's the idea behind Stand Tall, Live Longer, using a ball as one element of retraining balance to require the use of inner core control as the body is moving in 3 dimensions. In other words, strengthening posture. The idea of strong posture concepts builds with the ideas that your posture is how you balance your body. Your body is designed to move. After all, you must balance or you're going to fall down. Building these ideas of normalizing motion with chiropractic as well as posture exercise to build a virtuous cycle of motion where aligned strong posture creates balanced motion, allows exercise to be effective, training the core muscles for strong posture. Thank you very much to Dr. Haavik and Murphy for a great study about SSEPs and chiropractic, which also supports the idea that chiropractic and muscle therapy and posture exercise help to retrain how bodies move. This is Dr. Stephen Weininger. I hope you've enjoyed this information about a great study supporting posture practice concepts. Check out posturezone.com for grid software and other tools for the posture practice. For the public, check out bodyzone.com for a directory of certified posture exercise professionals by zip code and more information about how your posture helps you to move, feel, and be well. Thanks. Have a great day.